4.5 seasons in, Yellowstone remains one of the most compelling dramas on television. The first 8 episodes of Season 5 have continued to keep us at the edge of our seats, wondering what could possibly come next. Unfortunately though, Paramount split Season 5 of Yellowstone into 2 parts. So after Episode 8 aired on January 1st, we are now having to wait until summer 2023 before new episodes return. On the bright side, this gives us plenty of time to look back at some of the best moments from the first half of the season. So if you are a big fan of Yellowstone and you can't wait for the next half of Season 5, stick around. In this video we are going to cover all of the excellent moments that have made Yellowstone great so far, including some of the funniest, most dramatic, and most shocking moments. There are a lot of candidates. As John Dutton took the position of governor, Rip gets confronted by the Fish and Wildlife Service, Case chooses the path he sees in his vision, and so much more. Ultimately, we chose 6 moments that highlighted the first half of Season 5. Make sure you stay for number 6, you won't want to miss our pick for the best moment. So, let's jump into the best moments of Season 5 so far, starting with number 1. John gets sworn in as governor. Season 5 started out strong with John Dutton assuming power as the new governor of Montana. Seeing John take power was one of the biggest moments of the season, setting the pace for the rest of the season, as we saw how, even past its important implications, the moment was an interesting one to watch for sure. Hearing John Dutton say the line, "The fact that you voted for a man that does not want this job to lead this state," makes for great television on its own. On top of that, we see Jamie and Beth's shocked and uncomfortable reactions to John's policy proposals, which made us all the more curious about how things would play out through the rest of the season. Not to mention, the moment also largely defines the Yellowstone series, highlighting the lengths that the Duttons will go to in order to preserve their way of life. All in all, this has to be one of the most important moments, especially as we see John start to leverage the position for his and his family's benefit. We see a lot of moments centered on power throughout Season 5, leading us to moment number 2, the bar fight. There's a lot to unpack in this scene, which is what makes it one of the best moments of Season 5. Yes, there is the intensity of Beth just smashing a bottle over someone's head in an act of being a protective wife. However, it is more than that makes the moment so important. First, Beth has been a controversial character throughout most of Yellowstone, but she has only gotten more and more polarizing. This scene is a great definition of just how unhinged Beth is seemingly becoming, with no regard for the consequences and no hesitation to resort to violence. Second, Rip and Beth's marriage is still pretty fresh, so we see in this scene more than any other just how committed the two are to each other after recently being happily married. Still, we can't help but question the reckless choices that Rip is making. He had to know that things were not going to work out sending the woman to talk to Beth. Lastly, after the fight is all over, we also see the intense power dynamics that are in flux, as Rip tells the sheriff he doesn't want to arrest Beth, but the sheriff snaps right back, not afraid to play the power game. Ultimately, this moment leaves a lot more for us to question, making it such an important scene in the first half of the season. Despite the amount of fighting in Season 5, we see some other displays of pure emotion, even if they have our eyes watering, leading us to number 3 on our list. John consoles Monica. It's difficult to add this moment to a list of quote bests, but the scene demonstrated the pure love that still exists within the Dutton family. Monica losing the baby was by far the saddest moment of the season and left all of us trying to avoid bawling. After the miscarriage though, Monica and Case held a proper burial for their son, and John had some strong, comforting words for his daughter-in-law. Despite how intense John can be, we see him show his heart here, helping us remember why he is still so hard to root against. The moment also shows the bond between the Duttons, which is quite refreshing given all the conflict and hardship in the season. Now, let's change pace with one of the more lighthearted moments of the season. Number 4, the dinner with the vegan. Summer's character serves a few roles in Yellowstone, mainly serving as a counterbalance to the Duttons, as she has a hard time understanding the Duttons' way of life. However, this contrast comes to light the most when Summer joins the Duttons for dinner, as the Duttons' meal doesn't fit very well with Summer's vegan lifestyle. This leads to some entertaining back and forth between Summer and the family. There's some pretty funny lines that Summer gets in, especially if you enjoy a bit of dark comedy. We can't help but chuckle at Gator's bewilderment at trying to find an option that works for Summer, although we have to respect his attempts to be empathetic. All in all, Summer's presence was entertaining and at moments downright hilarious, providing us with some nice comic relief amidst all the drama. Of course, this scene turns a lot more violent as Beth attacks Summer out in front of the house, but still, there's some fun back and forth between the two along the way. Plus, the fact that it may have cleared the air between the two women almost instantly is enough to make it one of the most unforgettable moments of Season 5 so far. Beth's arguments were a strong theme in the first part of Season 5, which made this next moment definitely notable. Here is number 5. Caroline gets sent back to New York. This moment makes our list as one of the best moments simply because it highlights the power and ferocity of the Duttons, especially Beth. Caroline from Market Equity goes back and forth with Beth until the board of the firm requests that Caroline return to New York. We also hear that New York decides to drop the lawsuit. This shows the pure power and influence that the Duttons continue to wage. Against all odds, they seem to come out on top of those trying to take them or their land down. As she walks out, she tells Ellis,
"Find a way to ruin this family, Ellis. Ruin them. Starting with her."
I think this is checkmate, Caroline.
Her of course meaning Beth. But we have to wonder, is it possible Caroline was just one of the challenging dominoes stacked around the Duttons this season? But if the right one falls against them, the Duttons might see some pretty harsh consequences after all. But for now we wait and see how things unfold. Finally, here we are at the best moment of Season 5 so far, one that had us on the edge of our seats waiting impatiently for the return of Season 5 this summer. Number 6 on our list of best moments, Jamie seeks impeachment. In terms of intensity, Jamie seeking impeachment is one of the best moments in Season 5. First, because it makes for great television. Jamie moving for impeachment caught us all off guard and created a moment of pure drama as we see the influence Sarah has on him. And second, because this moment set the whole next series of events into chaos. We have already seen how that moment has started to snowball. Beth declares war on Jamie, and Jamie turns to Sarah to determine how he can take her out first. This is one of the most pivotal moments of the show, as we can't imagine what comes next. Now we are left wondering what will happen next in the second part of the season and whether Jamie will take power, or whether Beth will have him taken to the train station first. We can only wait until summer 2023 for the second half of the season to find out. So there you have it, the best moments of Yellowstone Season 5 so far. Let us know down in the comments if we missed any key moments, and tell us your favorite moments from the first half of the season. Make sure you subscribe and click the bell so that you don't miss any updates or insight into Yellowstone or any of your other favorite shows. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.